loves, welcome back to the Life of Jada A, where we discuss all things motherhood, entrepreneurship, and women empowerment. Today we're going to be talking about finding your passion and also a little bit of me doing my makeup. This is the first time for me, so please bear with me. As always, I hope I don't look like a clown by the end of this video. So since the last video, I've been practicing a little bit more on this makeup situation, and I still haven't quite got it down to my 10-15 mark. But it's coming along, it's getting easier. I'm skipping a lot of steps because I don't really want to have a beat face every day. I'm also still using my notes because practice. Once I get it done, I guess it'll be easier for me, but right now I still need these notes. So as usual, before I come to the camera, my face is already washed and moisturized. Actually, I'm a bit oily today, so this should be interesting. The first thing we're going to do is our primer. There's been a couple videos where I've definitely missed this step. So like I said, today we're going to be talking about finding your passion, because I know there are a lot of people walking around trying to figure out what they're actually passionate about and how to go about really finding those things that make you happy. So I think the first thing is that a lot of people are simply not inspired. And unfortunately, a lot of people are too scared to just keep trying things so they actually find the thing that they're passionate about. I once read that the thing you're passionate about is the thing that you would do for free. And for me, passion is about the thing that makes your soul happy. So for people who don't know what they're passionate about, I'm always saying just keep searching, keep finding it. I think life is all about always finding that thing. Like, I don't think it ever has to stop. I don't think it has to stay the same. I think it can change, it can evolve, but as long as it makes you happy, I say do it. Funny enough, I used to be really big on like my kids going to college and my kids doing like a career path and all these different things, but now I realize that honestly I just want my kids to be happy. And for instance, you know, I have this law degree, and I mean, I've had times when I was passionate about practicing law, but right now isn't it. And right now my passion is definitely photography. But that's not something you need a degree to do. And so for me, I think I'm going to just instill for my kids just making sure that they're at least happy with whatever they're doing. Of course, making a career out of those things, but definitely just being happy. Yeah, no, I don't do too much with these eyebrows because I think they thick enough. But, you know, here we go. Last time I did this, my sister hit me up and was like, one of your eyebrows was darker than the other. I see you. That's fine. I've been working on it. So another thing I want to say is finding your passion is something that can take a long time. And I think a lot of times people think that finding your passion is what it comes easy to you, but I don't necessarily think that that's it. I definitely believe in capitalizing on something. If it's something that's easy to you that is hard to others, I say, hey, we all need multiple streams of income. So if you can make money on the side doing something that is easy to you, do it. So let me just say, photography is not the thing I was always passionate about. I got into photography when I was around 12, and the reason was because I'm my mom's second born, and I realized that like my sister had all these baby pictures, and I'm like, where are my baby pictures? And they were like, we have them, but nobody could actually show me where the pictures were. So I think I got pissed off and a little bit rebellious and decided that I was going to start taking pictures and documenting my own life. And that's kind of how I got into photography. So if you know me, I always have a camera on me. And now with the age of like how good these cell phones are, it just has gotten even easier for me to have a camera on me. But I was the person who always was going to get my film developed, you know, every 2 weeks, every month or whatever when I was in high school, because I just loved photography that much. But even at that point, it still wasn't a passion to me. It was just something that I liked to do. I never thought of it as a career. It was something that kind of came later in life. And so I always tell people, like, if my house were to catch on fire right now, other than like my kids and like ourselves, like the thing I'm gonna get out of my house are the boxes and boxes of pictures that I have, because even though those memories are always in my head, those pictures of it can't be replaced. Before it wasn't like that, so like everything wasn't backed up on Google Drive and everything. So these pictures that I have are like, if they're gone, they're gone. And so I tell people all the time, like, if something happens to this house, I'm going to get my pictures because that's important. I am a little bit trifling because why are my pictures still in boxes? I don't know, but they are, and they're categorized. I just haven't had a chance to put them in any photo albums yet. So prior to the legal job that I have now, I had my own firm for a little bit, but before that I was a domestic violence prosecutor in my area, and it was something that I was like super duper passionate about. Helping women to get out of those situations that like were abusive. And I say women, not to say that there weren't men who were getting abused, but most of our caseload was women. And so I was really blessed to be able to go to that unit because it was something that I took very seriously, and it didn't feel trivial to me like some of the other cases that, you know, may be there. Not minimizing crime, I'm just saying, to me, there's a hierarchy. Some things are a little bit more serious. You know, your disorderly conduct and your disturbing the peace aren't necessarily as important to me as somebody who's, you know, being physically abused. So like I said, I really enjoyed doing that work. And then I left the country and I moved to Costa Rica, and I came back and I wasn't sure what I wanted to do. And so I kind of stumbled back into photography on like an accident. I was dating this guy, and he was a photographer in the area, and you know, we used to go on dates and just go riding around and shooting things, and I was like, oh, I forgot how much I like really appreciated this and really liked it. And let me backtrack and say, when I was in Costa Rica, I didn't take like a real camera with me. I just took my cell phone because I wasn't sure of the climate there, and like, you know, like kind of crime and stuff. And even though it's like a really low crime country, you just still aren't sure. You don't want to take things that are kind of valuable. So I didn't have a DSLR at that time, but I took a lot of pictures on my phone. And my homeboy from college, who is also a professional photographer, he saw some of the things that I would post using my cell phone, and he was just like, you have a great eye. You should, you know, look into doing photography for real. And I was like, whatever. Fast forward a couple months. Well, probably like 8 months. And I'm back. You know, like I said, I'm dating this guy, and he had a camera. One time he brought the camera to my house, and I just went all around the house taking pictures of everything. And my roommate at the time was like, Jada, I've never seen you this excited about anything. Like, oh my gosh. And I was like, dang, I forgot how it felt, right? And so from there, it just kind of sparked something. And so I decided that I would get a camera for my birthday. And I got it a little bit early. I got it in, I believe, October of 2014. I got it in October of 2014. So I just started taking pictures of like random stuff. And then in December, I was going to my best friend's baby shower in Mississippi, and she decided that, hey, so I know, you know, I hired a maternity photographer, but I told him that I didn't need him anymore, that my best friend was a photographer and that she was going to take my pictures. And so I kind of got thrown into like actually being a photographer. Like I said, it wasn't something I ever thought would be a career choice. And it was interesting even more when people decided like, oh, well, how much do you charge? And I'm like, wait, people will pay you to do this? And I guess I looked at it that way because it was just something that I did for fun and something that I loved. And I guess at that time, even though I valued photography, the craft, and like, you know, the memories that it holds, I didn't really value it as a business. And so I was in this mastermind so that I could like launch my own law firm and grow it. And, you know, and talking to the ladies in that group, they were like, you know, we realized that you actually are more passionate about your photography than you are about your law firm. And we think that you need to use your law firm money to fund your passion, which is photography. And I was like, I guess so. And that just took things to a whole new level. And I literally started to get serious. And I started taking classes and like investing in like workshops and all kinds of stuff that I hadn't previously done. And so this one particular workshop was a boudoir workshop. And it literally changed my life. I knew immediately that that was something that I wanted to do. And that once I started, like, it was amazing. And the thing that made it amazing to me was that I realized how women felt when they were done with their shoot. And I also realized that the same empowerment that I could give as a domestic violence prosecutor, I was also now giving as a photographer. And so I realized that my passion wasn't necessarily just photography. My bad, so my battery died. But what I was saying was, I realized that my passion wasn't just being a photographer. My passion was helping women being empowered through photography. And that changed the game for me. Like, literally changed everything and how my business worked and how I advertised and how I marketed it, my business. And it literally was a game changer. Before I go on, I want to say I've been running. Like I said a few videos ago, I've been in some running challenges. And I've been outside a lot. And so I'm praying that this makeup is not too light for my face. But we will see at the end. Again. Just hope not to look like a clown. So the other way it changed everything for me was because I realized that photography was the first thing I've ever thought that I could retire from. Prior to finding photography, I always said I never wanted to like retire from anywhere. Like, I don't plan on being anywhere for 30 years. Like, why would I do that when I can just do multiple things? Like, I have other passions and other things I like to do. I don't have to be an attorney for forever. I don't have to be, anything forever. And so photography was the first thing in my life that I've ever realized that I could do forever. And probably after I retire, I'll still be doing it because I just love it so much. So the other thing I want to say is, for people who aren't like yet sure about what their passion is, like, understand that you don't have to be stagnant in anything. Your passion can evolve, it can grow, and you could be passionate about something this year that you're not necessarily passionate about next year. Or with all this pandemic, who knows, you could have found crazy things that you never thought you were passionate about, never could see a career out of, and now you're more interested in it just because you've been stuck in a house. So explore those options. Again, for me, I didn't see photography as a career. What's funny about it is, and even now, like, even though it's a career for me, like, I also realize how much more it can be. And it doesn't have to be just me taking photos of people. It can be things like events, like I did the Fiercely Feminine event that I did last year. We just got some women together and we had some demonstrations for makeup and some belly dancing and just fun times for women. And so understand that those things can grow, those things can evolve. It doesn't have to be the same thing. Like y'all know, I don't like things to stay the same. I am always changing, always growing, always evolving. And if you're like that, it's okay. Life is to be lived, and the only thing that can help you know what you don't like is to do a bunch of stuff that you have to do and didn't think about. So I did this in the wrong order. I did all my concealer before I did my eyeshadow. So today I'm actually going to go for something more like neutral. Trying to figure out, like I said, I want to have my face where it looks like it's done but not really done. So I was recently talking to my little cousin who just graduated from high school, and one of the things she is talking about and feels upset about and disappointed in herself is like, she feels like her brothers know what they want to do for their lives, but she doesn't. And she's a year older than them, and they all just graduated, and she's just trying to figure out like she feels like a disappointment. Like, why don't I know what I want to do when my younger brothers know what they want to do? And what I have to keep explaining to her is, like, it's okay. Like, you're 19. You don't have to know everything now. And I think people kind of, like, get messed up that way. It's like they feel like if they don't go in, like, a certain order, then, like, they fail. And I just keep having to tell people that's not true. And it's more important to keep trying things out and to keep failing at things than to do something because they said that's the order to go in, and then you're stagnant, right? Like, nobody wants to do that. Like, that doesn't make sense to me. Like, I'm all about being happy. So don't do something simply because, again, society says to do it, or society says this is the order. And I feel like a lot of people get messed up that way. And that's why you have all these people who have college degrees that they don't use because they didn't know what they wanted to do. So don't be afraid to keep searching, because life is funny and sometimes you just find something by accident. And so what I did for my little cousin was, in addition to me talking to her, I had her talk to my other cousin who just graduated from pharmacy school. And the reason I had her talk to her was because she was a non-traditional student, and coming out of high school, she didn't really know what she wanted to do. She ended up with a job at like CVS or something for a couple years, and then somebody like inspired her to like go to pharmacy school. And so now she just graduated. She's 33 and she's like a whole doctor of pharmacy. Like, that's so dope. And so I just wanted her to realize that you don't have to do it in the order that people tell you to do everything. And I think sometimes people just get messed up there. And like, my whole thing is, what I know, if nothing else, is that time still passes. So if you get caught up trying to do things in a certain order and then you feel like a failure, and to the point where it makes you stop doing anything, you're going to be really in a bad situation, because time does not stop for anyone. I tell people that all the time, because people think like, oh, I'll just do this situation, this little quick program right here. This isn't really what I want to do, but it'll do for now. And like I keep telling people, like, don't waste your time like that. That to me is a waste of time. If you want a degree, then go get a degree. Stop doing these quick little online courses, because a lot of times they just hinder you and push your time along from actually doing the thing you want to do. I have a lot of friends who wanted to go to college and just kept putting it off. And then eventually life got the best of them, and now a lot of them, don't have the means or the time or even like the passion to go back. So it's like, do the thing that makes you happy. Do the thing that's going to make your soul happy, because if you don't, you'll spend the rest of your days with the what ifs. And that's the one thing I just can't do, is like, I am not living my life with any regrets. It's not going to work for me. And I'm not saying don't go to college, and I'm not saying don't, do things if you need to follow the career choice that you want, but you don't always have to do it in order. And a lot of times people like look down on jobs that require like trades or stuff like that, but those people make good money, so don't sleep on those people. But like I always say, like, if you are a person who you say you want to have your own business, then go to community college, take some courses in accounting, take some courses in marketing, and those types of things that will help you build your business the right way. It doesn't have to be necessarily a 4-year degree, but everything you do in life will require some kind of education, whether that's formal education through a 4-year degree, an associate's degree, some kind of training, courses, webinars, something. Everybody needs education. So stop looking at it as like, oh, I don't like school, when you're always going to have to learn something. And especially now as technology is growing, like, if you don't keep up with the times, you fail. Like, even like me with this whole photography thing, like, if I only stuck to the things that were, happening before I started my photography career, I would be behind. Like, there are so many people who are doing things and like doing it well, simply because they keep evolving and keep changing with the times. Here's my least favorite part, y'all. also started doing a liquid liner at the top on days when I decided I'm not going to do any lashes. I'm going to save my lashes for fancy times. Trying to get better at this. Sorry, I could not talk while I'm doing my eyes. It's too hard. So back to the topic. So what I want to say is, if you are a person who is still looking for your passion, like, it's okay. And if nothing else you get from this, know that there are hundreds of millions of people in your shoes. There are a lot of people who don't know what they want to do with their lives. They don't know what their purpose is. And it's okay. It's not an end-all be-all as long as you keep evolving and keep looking for it and keep searching for it. And even if you find that thing, you know, when you're 50, like, it's okay. Like, it's never too late to stop growing. So I'm going to leave you with a few tips if you are in this boat. Keep trying. Keep trying. New things you never thought you would ever be interested in. Just keep trying, because you just don't know what that thing is that's going to eventually spark you. And if you have an idea of something that you're passionate about, look into that more. If you do an activity or some kind of hobby or something and it makes you happy, like, deep dive into that. Find out what aspect of it is actually making you happy, and like how you can explore it more. And I also want to say, like, everything that you're passionate about doesn't have to be something that makes you money or something that can be a career, but I do believe that if it's something that you really love, I think you should be able to monetize it in a way that can help you out in some kind of way. That's how I see it. And sometimes it requires being creative, which is fine, but I think you can do it. Also, I want to say, just don't give up. Like, don't give up on trying to find it because you haven't found it yet. Again, you don't know when you're going to find it, so it's better to keep trying and then working towards finding it. Don't give up because the first thing wasn't it, or don't give up because it wasn't easy, because like the things that are worth it in life aren't easy. So don't give up. Be open to growth and change. Be open to the thing that you're passionate about, not necessarily fitting into a nice perfect package with a pretty bow on it. Like, sometimes the things that we're passionate about are not pretty, and it's okay. Now, I know you keep hearing me say it's okay, but I'm saying that because it truly is. Like, don't let people discourage you because it's not what they think it should be for you. At the end of the day, the thing that you're passionate about should make you happy. And just because it doesn't make somebody else happy doesn't mean it's not the thing that's your passion. And on that note, I'm going to say also, listen to your heart. There are so many people who are discouraged by family and friends to not do things that they love simply because another person can't see it. God gave you vision, purpose, and passion because that's for you. It's not for everybody. If everybody had the same passion and the same goals, we would all be doing the same thing, and we're not. We're all different. We're all amazing and unique. So don't worry about other people and what they have to say. Only worry about what makes you happy. Don't be upset if your parents don't understand, your spouse doesn't understand. At the end of the day, if you're not happy, then it doesn't matter who doesn't understand. Point blank. And I recently, I don't even know where I was, but I saw this quote and it said, don't take advice from people who you wouldn't trade places with. And that's important because a lot of times people in your life may appear to be your friends and actually they're just haters. And a lot of times people are holding you back or saying negative things about your things you're passionate about because they haven't found out what they're passionate about yet. So if they're not doing something that's amazing or what you would want to do, then Don't worry about them. They'll get over it. Trust me, they will. Lastly, like I always say, is do what makes you happy. Life is too short, and no one wants to go through life with regrets. If it doesn't make you happy, don't do it. It's okay. I've had so many friends in careers where they are literally sick, like physically sick, because it wasn't making them happy. And I'm like, well, why would you stay there? Like, that makes no sense to me. I'm not staying anywhere that doesn't make me happy. Point blank, period. So as you see, I'm going for a very natural look. I'm not trying to be like beat to the guys, just an everyday look. It's probably too much for every day for me, but you know, here we are. The light is kind of deceiving, so I might need to like go into another light. I hope you all enjoyed this video. I hope that you all are finding your passion if you don't already know what it was. I hope that you all are pursuing those passions and loving life and loving the skin that you're in. Don't forget to like, send me a comment if I could do something different. You know, I'm always about it. If you have questions about how I found my passion or questions about how you can find your passion other than what I've just explained to you, please let me know in the comments below. Please don't forget to subscribe, and we'll talk to you later.